Ever since I was a child, I hated time. I hated time. In a way, I was always a spontaneous type of guy. I hated to plan stuff. And I always felt like I'm different than anyone else. Because, people were always planning what to do next and then, and, just planning to do stuff in the future. And I always felt I'm different than other people until I found out how to plan stuff. You know, and then I felt stressed. And then I didn't feel any difference anymore. I felt like I could finally connect with people. The only thing that changed is I was able to relate with stressed people because I'm stressed. So now that I'm not stressed anymore because I just stopped and I am back to being spontaneous, I feel that it's harder to connect with people who are in stress. And the thing is, most people are stressed. And also, it was very hard to wake up as a stressed human being because part of waking up is being calm, just being back in this spontaneity. Relax and just see how it goes. And trust in a deeper intelligence. The ego always wants to have everything under control. It wants to control things and everything. And when the ego thinks that it has something under control, then it is convinced that it could have even more things under control. And then it wants to go on and on and on. And it wants to have its whole life under control until something falls apart, and then it falls into depression and it just wants to stop, or it is resentful of life, or it just becomes fearful. It's just full of problems. But so the natural desire is to just be calm and peaceful. Everybody wants to be happy, right? So a lot of people really want to wake up. And when I wanted to wake up, like 4 or 5 years ago, I already had my first awakening. But that happened when I was relaxed, so it happened pretty quick, and it was like so easy. There was no challenge. But then afterwards, I got into some difficult life circumstances, made me stressful, so I could relate with people in a stressful situation. But then I wanted to wake up again, but it was so hard. I was listening to the same people on YouTube who were telling me to just observe, just be, and I was like, how? I didn't understand it anymore. I felt like I was a different being. I was a different human. I'm not the same anymore. I lost something. It was not possible to wake up. It was not possible to just be, to feel like I am consciousness. It was hard to believe that I'm more spirit than matter, and it's just because this mind wanted me to stay in the ego because of fear or something like that. I don't know what it was, but 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 I know that I was just really trying hard to do the thing. And previously, when I was relaxed and I had my first awakening, I wasn't doing anything. I didn't even try. Like, those videos gave me a feeling of, oh, now I finally don't have to try anymore. I was just being, and it was there. That's the same thing. But it took me a long time of fighting and doing, and therefore failing, because it's not something you can do or attain, to finally break and realize that nothing I can do will bring me there. So I broke, like not in a dramatic way, but I just gave up, stopped trying. And it was there. And it was devastating for the ego, because the ego was finally like, I have no power in this. So we gave up. And there was just this relaxation. Of course, there were some dramatic thoughts, but the thing is, now I have two perspectives. One perspective is, I know how easy it can be when you can just relax. Another perspective is, I know how hard it can be, how long it can take to finally understand that you cannot do things. But the thing is, when you are a doer for years, and then someone tells you to just be, then you want to know how to do being. And it doesn't work like that. And it's hard to understand it, because it's not something you can understand in your mind to then get it and do it. You have to be right now. You can be right now. But then the ego is like, is that it? Is that it? So the thing is, I think what I needed to hear back then was, when you're just being right now, with closed eyes, or you don't have to close your eyes, but when you're just being, and you basically, like, in the beginning it will feel like waiting. Let's say you're waiting for your next thought. And it's uncomfortable, because when you are a doer for years and you think you have to achieve everything that makes you feel good, and it's hard, you will have a lot of fears and unconscious fears in the body, and it doesn't feel good, and it's uncomfortable to just be with yourself. You're like, man, I want awakening. It's supposed to feel good, but I feel like shit, But that's it. You have to go through this, and it's just observing that. And realizing that there is a certain distance between you and the thing that you're trying to avoid. So this distance gives you the power to not avoid it, but to stay with it and see that it's just an appearance in consciousness. So wait for your next thought, and when it appears, you're present enough to see that it's not you thinking, but it's just a cloud in the form of a thought that spontaneously appeared, and it will just as spontaneously disappear. So I'm not a thinker anymore, someone that's doing thoughts. I'm a receiver of thoughts. And really, that's not a lie. It's really, I'm just being. And thoughts happen naturally. Like, they come to me. All life experiences come to me. It doesn't feel anymore like I am going towards them. Like when I'm doing a video, I have no idea what to talk about. But yet, I'm already talking for like 9 minutes. So, something knows what to talk about, but it's not me. It's not the me. So, and when thoughts appear, and you're not the thinker of them anymore, then you're like the screen on which all of experience happen. Even fears, like when you're afraid, as the person, as a separate self, you're afraid of death and stuff like that, or losing your loved ones, and all of that stuff is allowed to appear on the screen of awareness, and then you just fully feel that and experience it, so you can finally acknowledge it and therefore become more authentic. And basically, to just in a simple way explain what will happen is you learn to relax. like, but it's a different kind of relaxation. You're not relaxed like you're watching Netflix and eating some chips, um, but you're really relaxed on a deeper level. Like, I don't have to think, I let the universe think. That sounds so esoteric. I'm sorry for using words like that, but sometimes I don't know what words to use. But I think you understand what I mean. I don't have to think. Just like right now, I don't know what to say in this video. It just happens. Something else thinking for me, doing for me. So it's a deeper relaxation that allows some deeper intelligence to just guide this whole experience. And it, in fact, you'll notice that it is always just this intelligence. It was never a separate self. Believing that it is a separate self that has the responsibility to live its life is just creating suffering, and there's no achievement in this. There's no success in this. All the success comes from this universal intelligence, not from the individual. The individual becomes prideful if it thinks that it is responsible for its own success, but that's just the downfall of it. It's just a downfall. Success just came as soon as I stopped trying. I stopped trying and success just came. So, and that's why I love to share this, because it's so easy. It's available to everyone, because it is everyone. And the catch just came. It's available to everyone. Happiness. Just be and observe. It's really just that easy. The only thing is that you have to also accept that in the beginning, especially, negativity is allowed. It is always allowed, but in the beginning, you'll become aware of the way your mind has been programmed. Yeah.